Hey, how you guys doing today? Just to hear, and I'm going to make a little video here to go over the first 12 things that you should consider or think about uh, before jumping into archery, all before going all in. So these some of these things helped me, but some of these things would have helped me more had I thought about them prior to getting started. But so the first thing is a question is, are you ready? So are you ready for the commitment? Because um, archery is a commitment. So you have to be willing to put in the time, the practice, and being consistent with it. So you're only going to be as good as consistent as you are, and so something to think about before you invest a bunch of money into a bunch of equipment and stuff. Good idea to think about if you have time to do this. And figure out what that looks like for you. But you're going to need some sort of consistency. So that's the first thing. Second thing is before you go out and buy a bunch of equipment and stuff, I recommend finding a class somewhere to take, and because that'll be helpful to get you to understand the different types of bows, different types of archery. There's a few different kinds. So depending on what you want to do, if you don't have any idea, definitely want to take the class. If you have something in mind already, like you're already set on bow hunting, still take the class, but you're going to already know what type of bow you're going to need. So find a good class somewhere and try to take at least a couple classes to see if it's something that you're willing to invest time and money into. Third thing is, I'm just going to go ahead and write these down here real quick. First one was commitment. Second one was class. And then by taking the class, it'll also help you, like I said, the third thing is to help you determine what type of bow you're going to be shooting. So depending on your goal and stuff, like I said, what type of archery you want to get involved in. And sometimes people, many people have different types of bows. They have target shooting bows, they have hunting bows, they have recurves. So some people, dabble in a little bit of all of it. So it's going to be up to you to determine, what you want to do. I would recommend starting with one first, and working on your mechanics and the fundamentals, and getting good with that. Before you muddy the waters too much with trying to learn how to shoot multiple types of bows. So, recommendation. So the type, and then the next thing is number 4. If you've decided, once you decided you're going to jump in and you're going to take on archery as a hobby, or you want to learn to hunt, whatever it is, you want to find a reputable pro shop that has a team that's super knowledgeable and helpful to kind of give you the ins and outs of everything, especially with the equipment and the investment you make into a bow to make sure it gets set up properly to meet your standards. So that's going to be the fourth thing. Find a reputable pro shop. I don't recommend buying a bow online or anything like that. You definitely want to go in and talk to somebody. Not all bows are equal, and again, depending on what you want to do, the size of the bow matters. The draw length is going to be really important. The poundage is going to be really important. These are all things they'll walk you through and do some little testing for you when you're in the shop, and kind of get you steered on the right track. So let's see. The next thing, 5. Do not. This is a recommendation. You don't have to take my advice, but I recommend not to ask to use somebody else's bow. If it's somebody that's serious about archery, they're gonna say no. But either way, don't ask to use somebody's bow. Don't buy a bow thinking you're gonna share it with your partner or significant other or friend. That's just a really bad idea, because Again, every bow is set up different to meet the individual's draw length, poundage, size of the bow, type of shooting you want to do. So you definitely want to take that into consideration when you use your own bow. And of course, if you're going to get a rental or something during a class, or a lot of places have bows for you to try out, they're very basic setups, so you're just kind of getting the feel of it, so it's not really that important. But it will help you get a gauge on what type of bow you want to shoot if they have different types of bows. And definitely recommend trying them all out if you don't know, what you want to do. So next thing's going to be number 6 is going to be drill the basics. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to really spend time drilling the basics of your fundamentals and your mechanics. So if you've seen any of my other videos or heard me talk about it, they have things like this. This is a release trainer. Has your draw length set, so you can practice your mechanics. And then there's 6 steps, 6 fundamental steps to shooting a bow. You can find that in the other videos. I'll put it down below too. I'll make a video specifically about that as well. But so you're going to want to practice your fundamentals, practice your mechanics, and the more you do that, and the more you're committed to doing that every single day, the better you're going to be when you step on the range. So trust me, it's going to be critical for when you get on the range for the first time, that your mechanics and everything are all set. You're going to be 10 times better if you spend a few weeks or 30 days working on your fundamentals, the mechanics, the follow through, your anchor, your stance, all that stuff. Kind of get that ingrained in your head so that it's 6 less things you really got to think too hard about when you get out to the range. Because when you're just learning, trying to focus on one thing at a time is about as much as you can really do effectively. So the more you can create your repetition, your process into your subconscious, it's going to help you quite a bit. So drill the basics. So next is going to be for you to, even when you're drilling the basics with like a release trainer or something like that, or when you start shooting, I recommend to record everything. So what does that mean? Well, ran out of room there. You get the point. So you want to record everything. What does that mean? That means literally record everything on paper, take notes of everything that you're learning, areas of weaknesses, things you do that improve your shooting, areas that you're really just not grasping yet. Take notes, lots of notes, from your practice to your drills to the equipment. The equipment's very specific. Every piece of the arrow has a certain weight to it, and you're going to want to use consistent arrows throughout your shooting. So you're going to want to kind of determine what that is. And once you get that set, you're going to make notes of all that stuff so that you know going forward what size arrows, what's the weight of them, things of that nature. So, and then the other thing is record yourself with video. So I bought a couple of these tripods, $12.99 on Amazon. I leave one here. That's where my phone's at right now. Handy dandy little thing, and I leave one in my car so that I can take it to the range with me or outside wherever I'm at to record myself. So the purpose of that is, once you know the mechanics and you know what your fundamentals and your posture and all that is supposed to look like, then you can watch yourself on video and you can be your own coach. You can critique yourself. You can see areas that you need to work on. Maybe your elbow's not high enough, your shoulder's collapsing, whatever it is. There's a whole bunch of things that you'll learn to identify. And the only way to know that is if you have a coach with you, right? Or if you record yourself and review those videos, make adjustments accordingly, and that'll help you tremendously to get better faster. So record everything, and I mean everything. So the next one is going to be, I'm just going to put partial here. Perfect practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. Okay, what does that mean? That means slow down, take your time, and really focus on each rep, getting a quality rep, walking yourself through each step of the shot from your stance all the way through to the release and follow through. That's super important because even myself, I stopped shooting for a long time. And then when I got back out and bought a new bow, I was excited. I went out there and I was just slinging as many arrows as I could. So, and it was fun, but in order to get better, you really need to focus on every tiny little step of the process. And the only way to do that is to slow down, take your time. I typically shoot rounds of 3 to 4 arrows, and that will take me somewhere between 3 and 4 minutes. So I average about a minute per arrow. So, you know, there's a process going through it, right? So just as you walk yourself through it, just slow down, take your time. It's not about how many shots you get off, it's about the quality of each shot. So that's what perfect practice is. If your practice is good and you take your time and you're focusing on all these things, your practice will pay off. It'll pay off a lot faster. So next thing is be patient. Again, I can't emphasize enough, that's part of slowing down. You want to be patient. Don't get frustrated with yourself. Even guys that are out shooting, that've been shooting for a long time, have bad days. They miss the targets. They're way high, way low. So depending on what's going on with them physically, mentally maybe, if they're tired or whatever, that's gonna affect all that. So you're gonna want to be patient. And in the beginning, yes, but always be patient. So if you need to take a break in between rounds, take a break, take a breather, get your head right, get back up there, and then walk yourself through each step. But be patient, don't get frustrated. In the beginning, you're probably, your arrows might be all over the place. However, I feel like if you focus on these fundamentals before you get out there, I think you're going to be pretty good. Most people are going to be. So be patient, be nice to yourself, and don't be too hard on yourself, because it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster in the beginning, and even down the road sometimes it's a roller coaster. That's normal, so don't get discouraged. The next one is going to be find a good club to join. There's archery clubs all over the place, and one that has good coaches, that has members that are helpful. I'm in Northern Virginia, so I go to Northern Virginia Archers, and amazing members, amazing staff there, volunteers that help. They're super helpful with everybody. So try to join a good club, because you're going to learn a lot from other people, and you're going to learn a lot from the volunteers there and the coaches. So definitely try to find yourself a club to be involved in, because doing it on your own, shooting by yourself all the time, that's great, but you need to get out there and see what other people are doing, get some feedback, so that I think that'll help you. Plus, it's a community. You build that camaraderie with others. It makes it really fun. So, I love archery. It's like, this is what I do. It's like, I'm a little obsessed maybe with it, but I love the whole culture, the community, the work putting into building arrows, and whatever it is. There's a ton of different things archery related that you consistently work on. So join a club. It'll make it a better experience for you overall, and you're more likely to stick to it. Let's see. Join the club. And number 11 is going to be know when to not practice or when to quit early. So what does that mean? Some days you probably shouldn't practice with your bow. I take advantage of days like that, and I use my release trainer and get some mechanics in, and just work on my posture, my mechanics, and other foundational things, instead of shooting my bow when I'm super tired, or just not feeling well in general. It's not a good idea to be slinging arrows around when you don't feel good. You're going to get frustrated. It's going to be harder. You're going to get more frustrated more easily because you're tired, and it's just not worth it. So again, perfect practice, quality over quantity. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break, and it's also okay to quit early. So if you get out there and you planned on practicing for an hour, and you get 20 minutes in and everything's hurting and you're tired, you're not feeling good, just call it. It's just not worth forcing reps, because bad reps aren't going to make you better. They're just going to make you worse. They're going to make you think you got to adjust your sights, something else is wrong. It's typically not that at all. However, we like to blame our bow, we like to blame our sight, and so it's always something other than us, right? Actually, wrong. It's almost always us. And every little component matters, especially how you're feeling, both physically and mentally. So, know when to call it, is going to be important. And then, let's see, when to rest or quit, whichever. Okay. And then 12 is have fun, right? I think that's the most important thing. We all get involved in archery, I think, for the most part, because we want a hobby, we would want something fun to do, and it's an amazing hobby. It teaches you. I'm going to do a video at some point here about all the life lessons you get from archery, and it's pretty incredible. I actually just posted a Twitter and a YouTube post. I wrote an article about the benefits, the life lessons benefits for kids to get involved. All the same things apply to adults. So you can check that out if you want. It's already posted. So, but remember to have fun. Don't stress out. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Just really have fun, because that's what matters the most. And then lastly, let's see, we're at 12 already. I had one more. I put be patient again. It's worth mentioning again, because just be patient with yourself again. That's going to be important. So that's all I got. So these 12 things are going to help you tremendously in the beginning. And like I said, if you focus on these things, and once you get out there and you actually start shooting your bow, you're going to be a lot better right out of the gates. Starting off with a good foundation is better than having to reset. When I started again, kind of got a month or so down the road, and I decided to take a step back and reset, change my release, and just took a month to kind of reprogram myself. So it's better if you could just do that in the beginning. So you're going to be much better off, because the faster you get more accuracy and feel more comfortable, the more likely you are to keep doing it. You're going to stick to it, and you're going to have a lot of fun. And you're just going to get the momentum, and you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep getting better. So that's all I got. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate the support, and feel free to drop some questions or feedback in the comments. I'll respond to everything. And that's it. Thanks, guys, for checking out the video. Appreciate it. Have a fantastic day.